we'll pick up where we left off. Thanks for the needed quick break. Panel, I'm still under.
As required by the commission's RFP rules, the independent evaluator was hired to supervise the RFP process and ultimately came out of commission's authorization, correct?
Yes, that's right. There was an independent evaluator that was used throughout the RFP.
Okay, and that was a company named Axion, right?
That's correct, yes.
And among other things, Axion maintained a website for the RFP that included all communications between the company and bidders, including the system RFP solicitation and pro forma contract.
Yes, once the RFP is in service, then there is no direct communication between the evaluation team of the company as well as any bidders directly. So all communications have to go through the IE website.
Okay, and just briefly, what is a pro forma agreement? How does that differ from an actual agreement?
So the pro forma documents are created ahead of the RFP issuance, and they're generated so that the bidding community knows what the standards and requirements are going to be of the RFP, so they know what they're going to be bidding into.
So like standardized.
Yes.
I want to show you what I've marked as exhibit STF TIA 5, which has been provided to the court reporter. This is a page from the draft RFP posted on Axion's website on February 26, 2022. Correct?
This one's taking the thought trust. So again, your question was, you're just noting the page from the RFP.
Yes. The draft, draft, all sorts of draft the RFP, February 26th, comment period left.
Exactly, yes.
And looking at the second paragraph, it says GPC estimates that up to 8,500 megawatts capacity resources are needed to satisfy GPC capacity. You all see where it says that?
Yes.
Okay, I think is what you referred to earlier. The purpose of the statement is to announce to the market that the company is seeking 8,500 megawatts.
Up to 8,500 megawatts, yes.
Even though, or perhaps because, the commission had never explicitly authorized the company or company any orders, that the company was to issue an RFP for 8,500 megawatts. Right?
You said it again?
I was like, the reason is to announce to the market that there's 8,500 megawatts that being sought, because it never appeared in any of these prior orders that the company was going to authorize 8,500. Right?
Right, and as I discussed earlier, the megawatts are not set when the RFP is either teed up from the IRC or by the commission. The commission ultimately approves these RFP documents that lay out that. But that 8,500 is based on the customer's needs and the capital.
As determined by the company.
Yeah, as all the facts we probably share them with the commission and staff. There was an entire 2023 RFP update that took place just preceding this that would have had updated load forecasts, updated capacity needs. So people that were engaged in the regulatory activity in Georgia could have been well versed in what was happening between 2022 and 2023, which would have given a strong indication of where we were going to end up going with the RFP as these draft documents indicate. And ultimately, the RFP document did approve by the commission. So that number could be modified as it needed to be. It would have been open and certainly collaborated with staff and the IE and all of this stuff, the development, review, and finalization.
I want to show you what I've marked as exhibit STF TIA 6, which has been provided to the court reporter. Take a second to look at it. So this is a page from the revised RFP posted on Axion's website 3 months later on June 6th, 2024, correct?
Yes.
And again, looking at the second paragraph, there's another statement that the company estimates to be 8,500, correct?
Correct.
Now, different from the February draft, though, there's a table that shows estimated capacity needs from the 2023 fire company. And I think that's what we really just referred to moment. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yes.
All right, so that table showed a capacity need of 2280 megawatts for winter 2029, 3,247 megawatts for 2029-30, and 5,960 megawatts for 2030-2031, correct?
That's correct, and that was in the capacity in the RFP update, but again, that up to 8,500 megawatts allows for other shifts in that need that might occur. So for example, the 23 RFP update, can't recall what underlying needs, but we have not made the decision to extend gas and share three, even if they were replacing the numbers, that still is not known. So you're looking at trying to make sure the RFP gets you a range to ultimately make the decision. So it would not have made sense to update it, we're only looking at these because these are the update. So 8,500 is up to capture these needs. And this table is putting in support that there's a lot of needs, and you still have moving pieces in terms of total requirements and next hour, higher food costs.
Where did the 8,500 number come from? Not from the 2023 RFP.
Well, I would have to go look at the unit assumptions, but again, it could be the fact that we continue to see load growth updates, so we want to make sure that you had some coverage, and then again, the unit assumptions could have spread that.
That is a company number though, right?
The company is, yes.
I want to show what I've marked as exhibit SDF GIA 7, copy which is provided at the quarter. Now, this is a report by Axiom Group to PSC dated June 12, 2024, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Look at page 15 of the report, the last bullet page, the last bullet point of the page.
At page 15,
Page
right?
15, yes. I'm looking at the last bullet point that says, the process of producing the RFPs for separate CPAs, a contract for APA, and another contract for PPA, and NCRs for CP and CP projects, was tortuous and unreasonably subtracted. Don't you see that so good?
Yes.
You all agree with Axiom that the process of producing the RFP, solicitation, and pro forma agreements is tortuous and unreasonably subtracted?
I disagree with that language.
The IE continues by writing, GPC knew in July 2022 with the 2022 IRP order that the 2029-2031 All Source RFP would be conducted and should have had preliminary drafts of documents available for staff and IE to review within the year, rather than the spring of 2024. While discussions about the scope and schedule of the RFP began in the first quarter of 2023, staff and IE first received draft documents to review in March. As noted here in the draft contracts for CPA and APA, they were not provided for review in May 2022. The IE's timeline here on the draft and review documents accurate.
He has the correct timeline noted.
This RFP, if they're more targeted to use like thermal resources or batteries and other capacity resources, would it not shorten the timeline of preparing these documents? In other words, because they're ready to do a document to prepare?
No, again, first off, we don't target specific numbers of research types in RFP. The whole point of the all source RFP is to let the market and the company propose submittals in the RFP. So we would not have done the targeting. And the important thing here is that there was a lot of work on the documents themselves. We were trying to make sure we were backing up from COD dates. Regardless of this history, we were able to get the RFP developed, sent to the market. We got a very robust response, and we're sitting here in the commission with the results of that RFP to be able to seek certification for a company. So we can go through the history, but whether we would have gotten the RFP out sooner rather than later doesn't change the CFDs of the resources. There also just seems to be a missing part of the narrative here of how many things changed between 2022 and mid-2024, which was the introduction of a tremendous economic development opportunity, an IRP update that took time, effort, resources. There were discussions with the company and commission staff on other opportunities to run RFPs that couldn't be agreed upon. And so we followed the 2022 IRP stipulation for an all-source RFP that staff agreed and stipulated to, work his staff up with the IE. So there's just some timing things here that as Ms. Curley said, we don't agree with the language used in the IE report, although the dates are accurate, the context is a little misapplied in the way things played out, given the nature of things that were happening between 2022 and 2024.
Commissioner, so Mr. Looney is bringing a very good point. So at the end of 2022 is when we started to see all this fast flow coming to the state. Speed that we saw was a comprehensive development that triggered the proceeding that presented to you in the 2023 IRP. So month after month, I remember looking at this portfolio of loads doubling and doubling and doubling. And so it was a period of fast activity. And so from a forecasting perspective, I wanted to provide that reference for you as well. So continuing on with that paragraph on page 15, the IE wrote, the result of this tardiness is evident in the fact that GPC needed to file revised RFP documents. The GPC being more receptive to working with the IE than staff far earlier. Their IE believes the drafting of acceptable RFP documents would have been completed in an orderly fashion. The RFP released for bids months ago. You all see that?
Yes.
You agree with the IE that the company is responsible for months of delay in releasing the RFP and the RFP documents?
So I would disagree that the company is solely responsible for this. Like this IA representative, Mr. Looney, there was a tremendous amount going on. And while the IE works very closely with the company on the RFP documents and is integral to our success here, he does not have purview into the load and what Mr. Valle's group is working on. And so while he may not have known what was going on in the forecasting and our growth in the loads, he only saw the RFP. And so it is a good cooperative relationship that we have with the IE. We don't always see eye to eye, and that's okay. It's a good constructive relationship, but he's not always privy to everything that's going on.
Did the company deliver these today, preparation of these IE documents, knowing that today's forecast is going to increase?
No, we did not. I mean, one of the things we were doing, if I recall, is we were actually trying to also get a lot of similarities between all of them. So utility scale, DG, any of those, there was a lot of work on getting a lot of those things consistent, but there was also a lot of market dynamics. And so there was nothing intentional on the company having those documents later than the staff they may, i.e. may have determined. The main driver of the RFP is making sure of CODs, and we had, as you read earlier, the targeted timing for filing the certification after the RFP, and we achieved that. And we have 15,000 megawatts bid into the RFP. It's a very robust RFP. I would add that the company was intentional in prioritizing activities during that time period, and what we thought and acted on with the priority to update this commission on the changes that we saw in the load forecast and address those near-term immediate needs such that we could enable the economic growth. Did that require a little bit of delay in the also RFP? Possibly. Again, I, like Ms. Curl, don't necessarily agree with Axion's wording that's used. But there was an intentional prioritization of efforts to make sure this commission was aware of what we were seeing in the load forecast and that the company was able to respond to the economic development opportunities that the state had.
Mr. Pollock, I hate to do this, but IP is having issues with the live stream on the audio side. Folks, there's a lot of folks watching online and have problems with the audio. So they've asked us to take a 15-minute break, give them a chance to work on it more than what they were trying to work on earlier. They still have some issues. So sorry about that. We're going to take a 15-minute break. We would hate for people to not be able to.